You wake up in the morning, yet it feels as if the night never ended. The world moves, but inside you are heavy, motionless, lost in thoughts that have no exit. That is what depression feels like. Not sadness for a day, not sorrow that fades after a week, but an invisible weight pressing down on your soul. It steals your energy, your purpose, your clarity. It makes even simple tasks, getting out of bed, eating, smiling, feel like mountains you cannot climb. You might think you are weak for feeling this way. But understand, depression is not weakness. It is a test. In Islamic philosophy, life itself is a field of trials, and the darkness you carry is one of those trials meant to teach you about yourself, your limits, and your Creator. Depression is real, and it hurts. But the question is, how do you control it? How do you resist drowning in its ocean? First, recognize that depression isolates you. It convinces you that no one understands, that no one can help. But the Qur'an tells you otherwise. Do not despair of the mercy of Allah. Indeed, Allah forgives all sins. Notice the verse does not speak only about sins. It speaks about despair itself. Despair is the poison and hope is the cure. When you feel worthless, when you feel forgotten, remember that your Creator values you more than you can ever imagine. But faith alone does not mean you sit still and suffer. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught that for every illness there is a cure. Depression is an illness of the mind and the heart. Controlling it requires both spiritual healing and practical effort. Think about your daily life. How often do you consume noise, endless scrolling, empty conversations, comparison after comparison? These things silently fuel depression. Islamic philosophy emphasizes silence, reflection, and balance. When you step back from the chaos of the world and create moments of calm, your heart begins to breathe again. Now consider the power of prayer. Not just ritual, but presence. When you stand in prayer, you are not merely moving your body. You are aligning your soul. Each prostration is a physical act of surrender. Scientists today speak of mindfulness, grounding, meditation. Islam taught it centuries ago through Salah. Your forehead touches the ground, your ego bows, and for a moment, the storm in your mind finds shelter. Still, you ask yourself, why me? Why this pain? Here, Islamic philosophy gives you a different lens. It tells you that trials are not punishments. They are messages. Sometimes depression comes to slow you down, to force you to reflect, to break the illusion that worldly success equals happiness. How many people chase wealth, fame, or relationships only to feel empty once they arrive? Depression exposes this emptiness, reminding you that fulfillment does not come from what is outside, but from what is inside and above. But depression is stubborn. It will not vanish overnight. So what can you do practically to control it? You seek connection. The Prophet said, "The believer to the believer is like a building. Each part strengthens the other." Isolation feeds depression, but companionship weakens it. Surround yourself with people who lift your heart, not those who drag it deeper into darkness. Even if you have no one, begin with serving others. Visit the sick, help the needy, volunteer your time. Depression tells you to withdraw. Islam teaches you to give, and in giving you find healing. Another step is gratitude. It sounds simple, maybe even cliché. But listen carefully. When depression grips you, it narrows your vision to only what is wrong. Gratitude stretches your sight back to what is right. Each night, write down 3 blessings, no matter how small: clean water, the ability to walk, the gift of faith. Gratitude is not denying your pain. It is refusing to let pain blind you completely, and never ignore the physical body. In Islam, the body is an amana, a trust. Sleep well, eat pure, move your body. Modern science agrees. Exercise releases chemicals that fight depression. But Islamic philosophy adds a deeper truth. Caring for your body is not vanity. It is worship. By walking, by resting, by nourishing yourself, you honor the trust given to you. Still, there are times when depression grows beyond what you can manage. Islam does not forbid you from seeking help. The Prophet himself consulted, advised, and listened. If you need a therapist, a doctor, a counselor, seeking that help is not a lack of faith. It is an act of wisdom. You tie your camel and trust in Allah. And remember, depression is not a permanent state. It whispers that your life will always be this way. But history shows otherwise. Great scholars, saints, even prophets endured moments of deep sorrow. Prophet Yaqub wept until he lost his sight. Prophet Muhammad faced the year of sorrow after losing his wife Khadijah and his uncle Abu Talib. Yet from their grief, light emerged. Islam never promised a life without pain. It promised meaning within pain. So when depression visits you, see it not as the end of your story, but as a chapter. A chapter where you rediscover patience, faith, resilience. A chapter that teaches you to rise slowly, to breathe deeply, to walk again even when your legs feel heavy. Your depression is real. Your struggle is real, but so is your strength and so is your Creator's mercy. Control comes not by denying your pain, but by guiding it, transforming it, and returning through it to the one who never abandons. And one day, when you look back, you will realize this storm that almost drowned you was the same storm that taught you how to swim.